When the gate dropped, MX2 Race 1, round 5 of the FIM MX2 Motocross World Championship. It was Jose Butron and Jimmy Decotis who grabbed that whole shot going through turn 1, but up front it wasn't long before the KTMs of Jordi Tixier and Jeffrey Hurlings did battle. Eventually, championship leader Hurlings went through on lap 7. Those two would finish first and second in the race. Valentin Tellier was having a great ride in third, but behind them, the Monster Energy Yamahas of Mel Pocock and Christophe Charlier. Dean Ferris were having their own battle. Ferris running off track at one point, and that allowing Petr Petrov at his home Grand Prix to make another position. Ferris and Pocock ran wide. Max Anstey, who came from 21st on the first lap after running into the back wheel of Ferrandis at turn 1, he found a way through to take 9th by the time the checkered flag fell. Jake Nichols was having a good ride as well, eventually finishing in 6th position. But Lupino, who was riding well on the Kawasaki, got himself up into 8th place, but almost came unstuck when he ran into the back of a back marker. But it was Hurlings who won race 1. Race 1 was a formality for 21 Gautier Paulin. He won the qualifying race on Saturday. He kept a nice tight line going through turn 1, came out in front, and from there he was never headed. Behind him it was Strybos and DeSalle on the two Rockstar Suzukis, but Tommy Searle and Tony Cairoli eventually found themselves battling. So too did Ken Dodika. Dodika coming through from 14th on the first lap, going by Guarneri at the bottom of the hill to take 9th, and that's where Dodika would finish. Max Nagel was ahead of Tony Cairoli for a while, but Cairoli eventually going through to take 5th, and then he caught Tommy Searle to take 4th with a few laps to go. Just ahead of them, the Rockstar Energy Suzukis, Kevin Strybos and Clement DeSalle. DeSalle thought he had the move covered at the inside to go from 3rd to 2nd, but Strybos fought right back, and that's how it would be for the remainder of the race. Eventually, Strybos going through for the final time at the bottom one of the hills to secure that 2nd position. But up front, Gautier Paulin went on to win. Strybos 2nd, DeSalle 3rd, Cairoli 4th. MX2 race 2, Christophe Charlier on the Monster Energy Yamaha hit the gate. He wanted to go too early, and that was the result. Mel Pocock grabbed a whole shot, but then would run wide, and Jake Nichols, also well placed, fell at the start of the first lap at the top of the hill. Everybody going by. Mel Pocock, who was in 4th position, suffered a mechanical problem on lap 3 and would not finish the race. Lupino, though, had his own battle with Jose Butron. Thought he'd got 3rd. Butron fought right back, and it was a few laps later when Lupino challenged and eventually made the pass, but joining them for company was number 14 Max Anstey on the Suzuki. Tixier got himself into 2nd right from the very first lap behind his teammate Jeffrey Hurlings, but the battle for 3rd was still undisputed between Lupino and Anstey. Eventually it was Lupino who would finish in 3rd, Anstey 4th, and that would decide the 3rd overall step on the podium. The race belonged to Jeffrey Hurlings, who else, with a maximum score so far in 2013. Tixier was 2nd, Lupino was 3rd, Anstey 4th, Charlier 5th. A good ride through from the back of the field after hitting the gate. And your overall Grand Prix belonged to Jeffrey Hurlings, Tixier 2nd, Lupino 3rd for the first time in his MX2 World Championship career. Of course, Jeffrey Hurlings continues to lead the World Championship. We go to Bulgaria in 2 weeks' time. Of course, he has a red plate delivered to him, courtesy of Dr. Wolfgang Streb, the director of the FIM CMS. In MX1 race 2, Paulin had a good start, but Cairoli came across from about gate 5 to take the whole shot, but then he ran wide and opened the door for Paulin. Tommy Searle had a good start. He was in 7th and then ran clean into the back of the KTM of Rui Gonçalves and dropped right the way back down to 15th. He would eventually finish in 8th by the time the checkered flag fell, but it was hard work for Searle in race 2. The lead changed hands when Tony Cairoli found a way up the inside of Gautier Paulin at the start of lap 4. And behind them, the Hondas of number 19, David Philipparts, and number 12, Max Nagel, duked it out as they fought over 7th, 8th position. Once again, the Rockstar Suzukis of Strybos and DeSalle were at it. This time, though, it was in the favour of Clement DeSalle. He was holding down 3rd place ahead of his Belgian teammate in 4th. Cairoli was running clear at the front of the field on the Red Bull KTM. Gautier Paulin knew that 2nd position on that 21 machine Kawasaki would be good enough to win the overall GP. Cairoli won for the 7th moto this year. Paulin came home second. That was enough for him to win the Grand Prix. His first in 2013 and his second back-to-back in Bulgaria and in MX1 and on a Kawasaki. That was your overall podium. Gautier Paulin, Tony Cairoli and Clement de Sal. Of course, Tony Cairoli continues to lead as he goes to one of his favourite tracks in Portugal in 2 weeks' time.